For years, Bitcoin has been looked at as digital gold, the ultimate store of value. Recent information has come to the surface that is convincing me that Bitcoin's next title in this narrative may be digital oil. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of your Digit Hustle News. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want to highlight something to you that's going on behind the scenes. Okay? While the mainstream media is telling you that Bitcoin is not energy efficient, investor publications, investor media such as Reuters, CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, they're highlighting that oil mines, oil rigs are now essentially being converted into Bitcoin mining rigs. Okay? Oil drillers and Bitcoin miners buying over natural gas. Now, the details in this specific article, and I'm just going to summarize this real quick because I got a couple more that is going to give you the global picture. But essentially, what's going on in the Great Plains and in the Rocky Mountains and in the Western Frontier? U.S. oil patches are now being host to mining rigs, okay? These trailers, they're backing up to these oil patches, carrying pipes, generators, computers, but they're not there for oil. What they are essentially doing is tapping into a process called flaring. It's where during the process of oil refining, excess gas is emitted. That gas, illustration of what you see here, produces methane. It's bad for the environment. However, it can also be used as an energy source itself, and that is what they're doing with these new mining rigs. Okay, so that's how the situation is beginning to unfold in the Great Plains, the Rocky Mountains, the Western Frontier, that region of the country. Okay, now we're going to go down to Texas because a Chinese Bitcoin mining company has just invested $25 million into a new facility in Texas. BitMining's new Texas facility will open a new frontier for the firm at a time of rapid investment in North American mining. Okay, now these articles, they detail that there's a sudden influx, a popularity, if you will, of companies looking to use renewable energy to mine Bitcoin. Okay? He says it right here. With scrutiny towards Bitcoin's energy mix, more North American mining companies are seeking to make their energy sources 100% renewable. The Chinese government has also made an effort to curtail mining operations in their coal-rich regions of Inner Mongolia, where Sichuan is located. So, the mining company, the Chinese mining company, is located in Sichuan, China. They are investing in a Texas data center in order to mine Bitcoin. All the while, like I said before, CNBC is telling you that they are cracking down on their own mining facilities. So, what this is looking like to me is that the power is shifting. Because as we all know, China controls 60% of all the Bitcoin mining. Okay? Now, with the narrative stating that China is getting ready to crack down on their mining facilities, all the while the United States is now increasing their production of mining facilities, that hashing power is going to shift naturally. But what that is also highlighting the fact is that Bitcoin isn't going anywhere, and neither are cryptos, because now they're looking for an unlimited source, an unlimited way to power them. Okay? Now, here's a theory that I have. It's going to start with oil and gas, natural gas. But when solar power and hydroelectricity and wind farms start popping up to mine Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? Because it's not just Bitcoin that requires mining, guys. Other cryptos require mining too. So if the mining of Bitcoin was the cause of the energy problem, we just figured out a solution. The next leg up for Bitcoin obviously has to, this is what's going to push Bitcoin to 100,000 more, guys, is because we figured out the energy solution. It was a problem. It was presented to us. Everybody reacted. Now we have the solution. It needed a reason to get to 100,000. I think this is why. That is why, even though the markets have taken a turn for the worse, because of this, I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish because I'm looking at the thread right here. I'm looking at the thread right here, guys. They suppressed it, making it more affordable for these oil companies to come in and purchase and exchange it and use it and develop these mining rigs. By June, we'll recover. By June, we'll recover. And then we'll go July, August, September before we have another technical fundamental come down. Okay. G20's coming. Regulation is going to be finalized. It's going to shake the market. But in the short term, maybe the next week or so, we might stay under 40, 45K. But June will rally. I believe that. I believe so. But before this video gets too long, I want to make sure you guys stick around to the for the rest of the video, because I have stumbled upon a powerful woman in the space, guys. Okay. Melting Demoire's Chief Strategy Officer of CoinShares, the leading digital asset manager and cryptocurrency investor, advisor, and advocate with a unique blend of experience in both legacy and blockchain-based finance and cryptocurrencies. Now, the reason why I'm going to introduce you guys to Miss Demoire is because she has taken to CoinDesk TV and has spoken strongly about this whole energy narrative, okay, and how it relates to cryptocurrency. So make sure you stick around for that, because she is going to give some gems. She really is. So she's got 20 plus years of experience. This lady knows what she's doing. She's ran many companies across the globe in financial markets, both legacy and futuristic. So with that being said, guys, just want to thank you for coming back to the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Of course, you can get down at me in the comment section, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all in the new link section, exclusively at digitalhustlenews.io. But with that being said, guys, have a great day. Have a prosperous day. Most importantly, make that money. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Joining us now to discuss is a popular voice in the crypto industry, CoinShares Chief Strategy Officer, Melton Demirez in New Hampshire. Welcome, Melton.
Hi, it's great to be here this morning. Thanks for having me on, and I'm really excited to talk about this.
Great. Always a pleasure to have you on, Melton. All right, so tell us about the Crypto Climate Accord. Would you need everyone in the industry to sign on to achieve 100% renewable energy and net zero emissions?
Yeah, so look, here's the overarching idea. One of the beautiful things about cryptocurrencies, and in particular Bitcoin, which has been my area of focus and passion, is there are no leaders, right? These networks are decentralized, and there are no leaders, no spokespeople. It's really up to individuals, firms, companies to make their own decisions. The objective of the Accord was really to create a broad umbrella under which a lot of different sustainability efforts, a lot of lobbying efforts, as well as research and data efforts could sort of come together and be a resource. I think everything in this industry starts with intention. At the end of the day, one myth that we've fought to dispel at my firm CoinShares for a number of years now is the myth that Bitcoin mining is destroying the planet. Our research reports in 2018 and 2019 were the first to highlight Bitcoin's use of renewable energy and renewable sources of energy. In particular, our December 2019 report found that over 70% of Bitcoin mining was done with renewables, which I think is very contrary to the narrative we see often in the mainstream media. So the Accord is really a place where companies who share our objectives and who want to, help this industry grow while also aligning the trajectory of this industry with the trajectory of the Paris Accord, the G20, the UN, as well as many corporations who have pledged to move towards zero emissions. And so this is really a starting point to create a place for people to express their intention and to work together to achieve this goal. So really, it's how do we create a big umbrella, have it be not exclusive, it's not pay to play, anyone can join. There are just too many efforts in this industry, I think, that are pay to play, limited membership, and attempts to be exclusionary. And this is not that. This is really open, and it's for everyone who feels like they want to participate.
You mentioned dispelling the myth that Bitcoin is destroying the world through mining efforts. I know you have strong opinions on this. So obviously you believe it's
I'm sorry,
not.
But hold on, they're not strong opinions. They're not opinions. There's empirical evidence, right? So again, There's a difference between someone stating something and there's a difference between someone bringing the receipts. I bring the receipts. The industry is bringing the receipts. It's not an opinion.
So why is an accord like this necessary?
Because again, I think one of the issues is currently within the industry, there's an attempt by different blockchain protocols to create a narrative that their method of consensus or their network is less carbon intensive than the Bitcoin network in an attempt to make some sort of value statement. At the end of the day, I don't choose my banking service provider on the number of emissions that they produce or the carbon intensiveness of their operation. So I think it's preposterous to sort of claim, that one blockchain is better than another purely on the basis of some narrative around its energy consumption. At the end of the day, right, people will choose whatever public blockchain network they want to utilize or invest in or what token they want to hold long term based on the merits of that technology, that ecosystem. So what we really need to do is band together as an industry and stop using this narrative of energy usage and this criticism to try to attack other networks. We really have to work together because at the end of the day, right, this industry only grows if everyone is aligned and going in the same direction. And this energy narrative needs to stop. It's not productive for anyone.
Good morning, Meltem. You've been critical of the likes of Kevin O'Leary, whom we had a couple of weeks ago, saying that they want to distinguish where and how Bitcoin is mined. So how does this initiative differ from that thinking?
It doesn't. Look, at the end of the day, we've seen... I'm tired. I've been doing this for 6 years and it's the same narrative every single time. Bitcoin is mined in China, clean coins that are mined in certain jurisdictions. We want green Bitcoin that is provably mined with sustainable energy. Okay, the energy grid, right, doesn't differentiate between one electron and another. An electron is an electron is an electron. In the same manner, the Bitcoin network and other public blockchains don't distinguish between one token versus another. The whole objective here is to ensure that Bitcoin remains fungible. So the idea of distinguishing one Bitcoin from another based on where it was mined and with what energy source it was mined, which is impossible to verify in many instances unless you're directly plugged into the energy grid and you're directly co-located with a renewable facility. It's just not logical. I think what is logical, right, is giving people who want to have exposure to Bitcoin while also offsetting the carbon footprint of Bitcoin an opportunity to buy a REC or carbon offset to neutralize that Bitcoin's energy emissions. And in addition, to fund more co-location of Bitcoin mining facilities with renewable facilities, as well as other carbon neutralizing sources of energy. That is practical. We can do that today without threatening the fungibility of Bitcoin and without creating this narrative that, again, seeks to divide.
So just as a follow-up, though, hydroelectric energy, of course, that is beyond just being a renewable energy. It also does have an environmental impact beyond just what it emits into the atmosphere. The area around the environment around the hydroelectric facilities often or many times are negatively impacted. So are you looking to distinguish between that kind of, are you also looking as well into the environmental impact overall of, even renewables, of certain types of renewables versus others. For instance, hydro.
I don't understand this line of questioning though. When you woke up this morning and turned on your computer, when you got onto this web service, like, were you concerned about the amount of energy you're consuming by using your computer or by using the internet?
Personally, no, I don't care. I actually don't care. That's not, okay. But I'm not the one. I'm not the one doing an initiative like this. You are, so I'm asking you this question.
Right. Okay. But here's where I think the issue is. What people who are concerned about like cryptocurrency's general climate footprint, what they're advocating for is energy police. There is no energy police. I worked in energy markets for almost a decade before I moved into crypto. This is what I studied. I studied energy policy and its economic impact. There is no energy police. Open markets dictate where energy gets produced and how it's brought to market. If it's not economically feasible to produce a certain type of energy, it won't happen. The fact of the matter is the United States is a laggard in renewable energy production. Only 9% of the US electrical grid comes from renewables. China is at 20%. China last year alone added more renewable energy capacity to its power grid than every other country in the world combined. So again, what we really need to distinguish here, and I appreciate your questioning, is our ability to control the sources of energy provided to the grid today are minimal. What we want to do is
let's be clear that when China let's be clear that some of the projects in China that did create those renewable energies did have a negative environmental impact in China. So it's not just, oh, great, they have 20% of their energy coming from renewables. It came at a cost beyond just the emissions.
Okay. Very sure. That's an objective we could address, right? ESG is really about environment, sustainability, and governance, right? So just the environment component alone is not sufficient. I think when we look at sustainability, there's a number of different factors. I think the opportunity here is we need policy, right, that helps us get more sources of renewables onto the grid. And when I say renewables, there are a number of ways you could characterize that. I'm not the expert when it comes to renewables. That's why we have AIR and Energy Web and a number of other experts in that area who are going to advise on that side. I'm an expert on the crypto side. I'm an investor and I understand how energy markets work. Our objective is to make it economically viable and economically feasible for the crypto industry to align itself with the development and build out of more renewable sources of energy so that we can put more renewables on the grid and use crypto as a catalyst, right, to drive more investment in the production of renewable energy. Again, I cannot do that without advocacy and without better public policy that puts more renewables on the grid. That is really the primary challenge we have here. And again, we can't do that independently. I think collaborating, working together, and advocating for better energy policy is a really key component of achieving the objectives of this industry.